Hello, welcome students, and we are start to discussions in the different part, that is terrestrial magnetism. That is earth magnetism is also called as terrestrial magnetism. Okay, let's take the heading. In the previous lectures we are discussed the Gauss law in the magnetism. Then the Gauss law, the net magnetic flux through any Gaussian surface is equal to 0. It is all summary of the previous lectures. Then in these lectures we are just discuss earth magnetism. This is one of the biggest part and biggest theoretical parts, and we all are not conducting in the same lectures. We are just divided in a two different lectures. ठीक आहे, दोन वेगवेगळ्या लेक्चर्समध्ये या काही डेफिनेशन्स आणि काही टर्म्स आपल्याला अंडरस्टँड करून घ्यायचे आहे अर्थ मॅग्नेटिझममध्ये. देन वन ऑफ द बार मॅग्नेट इज held or kept in the space, in the space or in a air on the earth. Then there will be shows the north and south geographic direction, geographic north and south directions. This is called magnetism. Okay, and this shows, these facts will be shows the magnetic field is present in the earth surfaces. Then a bar magnet in space shows geographic NS north south directions. एक बार मॅग्नेट ठेवला आणि ती काय दाखवते, नॉर्थ आणि साऊथ डायरेक्शन दाखवत असते. दिस इज ऑर अलाइन इन द जिओग्राफिक नॉर्थ साऊथ डायरेक्शन्स. दिस फॅक्ट्स इज इंडिकेट सम मॅग्नेटिक फील्ड. दिस फॅक्ट्स indicates some magnetic field, is present. We are just discuss earth magnetism. Okay, and when our ears, and this is called as on the earth everywhere, present everywhere on the earth is called terrestrial magnetism. Called terrestrial magnetism. The bar magnet is aligned in the space, that is the geographic north-south directions, and this facts will be shows some magnetic field is present in everywhere on the earth. This is called as a terrestrial magnetism. Then terrestrial magnetism, a magnetic lines of forces are enters. Then I will be drawn the earth here. Consider this is the earth. Okay, consider this is the earth, and this will be line which can be shows the north south poles, and we are take a magnet here. This is bar magnet, that is N and S. This is south poles. Sorry, so it will be different. Then S and N. This will be north pole, and this is the south poles of the earth, and this is the different type of magnetism. We are take these bar magnets here, and they shows the north and south align the NS direction, geographic directions. Then what happened, I said The magnetic lines of forces are enters at the north pole of the surface. At the north pole of the geographic north pole. This is the geographic north pole. This will be enters here. Enters and emerge from the south poles. This is one of the different types when will be considered in the topics magnetism, that is terrestrial magnetism or earth magnetism. The magnetic lines of forces enters at the south pole, okay, sorry, enters on the north pole from the emerge from the south poles. The direction will be mentioned the south north. They are start from the south and enters to the north. Then direction is mentioned the south north. There is always the magnetic lines of forces enters north pole and emerge from south poles. And directions of geographical directions is direction will be mentioned here north, south, north. These are always geographics. Then we start to mention some terms: axis, equators, geographic meridians. Magnetic meridians is also considered here. These are planes will be drawn one of the different diagram, and remaining terms magnetic declinations and inclinations, some different terms will be discussed in the next lectures. In these lectures we are start to discuss magnetic axis. The first terms is a magnetic axis. Magnetic axis. You know that axis we are just discussed when one of the lines will be passing through the both poles. This is called as magnetic axis, and this is the axis. And the magnetic axis, consider Earth is a huge bar magnet. Earth is huge magnet. Consider Earth is huge magnet. Earth is huge magnet. Then a north pole is located below the Antarctica. North pole is located below the Antarctica, and south pole is situated below the North Canada. And the line passing through or line joining between these different two poles are called as magnetic axis. Consider the poles are located, north poles are located, the north pole located at the below of Antarctica, that is below Antarctica, and south pole is located pole is North Canada, below the North Canada or North Canada. And these two countries or these two places, consider and take one of the line join between them, and this line is called as magnetic axis. The line joining between them, the line joining between these poles, these two poles is called magnetic axis. It's called magnetic axis. These are the magnetic axis. Consider the south poles and north poles here. Then south poles is near to below the Antarctica, and north pole is below the Antarctica, and now south pole is below the North Canada. And these two places, these two poles are start to joining, a line joining between these two poles is called as magnetic axis and magnetic equators. This is the second part, magnetic equators. The magnetic equators is a perpendicular line perpendicular and passing through the center and perpendicular to the axis. This line is called as a magnetic equators. But in these fields we are just different. A great circle planes. This is one of the great circular planes. Only one planes. I will be drawn different. A great circular planes is perpendicular to the magnetic axis. Okay, this is one of the spares, and huge magnet will be considered here, and these are cuts like this. Okay, and these cutting lines are, the planes are perpendicular, or a circle, a great circle plane is perpendicular to a magnetic axis. Is called magnetic equators. A circle or a great circle will be drawn around the earth's surface, and these circular planes is perpendicular to the magnetic axis. This is called as magnetic equator. This is all about the consider magnetic axis and magnetic equators. Just revise and rub it. Bar magnetism, when we are placed in space, they are aligned the geographic and S direction, that is north-south direction. This fact indicates that some magnetic field is present on the earth, everywhere on the earth. This is called as terrestrial magnetism. The magnetic lines of forces enter the north pole and emerge from the south poles, and we are discussed two different terms, that is in magnetic axis and magnetic equators. Now we are just discuss geographic Mediterraneans and magnetic Mediterraneans. These are two different planes. They are, one is perpendicular to magnetic axis, and both are perpendicular to the surface of the earth, and one is perpendicular to the magnetic axis and another one is aligned or along to the axis, and they shows directions of the magnetic field of earth. Then the first is geographic meridian, that is first geographic meridian. Geographic meridians. The geographic meridians, a plane is perpendicular to the surface of earth and also perpendicular to the geographic axis. What are the geographic axis? They are line joining from the north and south poles. This is called as geographic axis. Then this is one of the planes. Consider this is one of the planes. Okay, these are perpendicular to the surface of earth. Here they are surface of the earth, and this is perpendicular to the surface of earth and also perpendicular to the geographic axis, the plane perpendicular to earth surface and perpendicular to that is the perpendicular to one other term is perpendicular to the magnetic axis is also called as perpendicular to the geographic axis, perpendicular to geographic axis is called geographic meridian, is called geographic meridians. What is the magnetic meridians? These both are same, but there are these are planes. The first sentence will be same, they are planes and perpendicular to the earth surface, but in the directions of it is the plane is a perpendicular to the earth surface and passing through the magnetic axis The second part is magnetic meridians. This is the one of the plane, a plane perpendicular to earth surface In this next lectures when we are revisions of this, just discuss in the detail and start to the next, that is magnetic inclinations and some different terms. Some special cases will be discussed, magnetic maps. Then just focus here. The magnetic meridians is a plane perpendicular to the surface of the earth and passing through earth surface and passing through magnetic axis and passing through magnetic axis. Axis is called magnetic meridian, and it is a parallel directions of magnetic field, that is B, and it is parallel directions of magnetic field. These two different terms will be considered. These are two planes. One is also both are perpendicular to the earth surface. One is also perpendicular to the geographic axis, another is in the directions of magnetic axis. This one is a geographic meridian, another one is a magnetic meridians. And in the next lectures we are just discuss the remaining terms of the same content, that is earth magnetism, and next lecture will be last lectures of these topics, that is magnetism, and they are finished, and lecture number 13 will be start soon.